just trying to throw it away and didn't.
Was that because you were jostled as you were letting it go, or?
Yeah, I was just trying to flick it out of bounds. Didn't want to take a sack, and just shouldn't happen.
So you didn't think you had Gronk on that play? Did you just do a last-minute thing, or you just try to get it out?
Yeah, I was trying to get it out.
He said he tried to flick it. Maybe he shouldn't have flicked it. Maybe he should have muscled
really
it.
it.
Do you believe that's what he was doing, or did you just like kind of have one of those moments, one of those Russell Wilson moments, one of those Jameis Winston moments? Did Tom Brady have one of those moments?
I mean, I'll say watching live, I thought he did, and as I've watched the replays a bunch of times too, I still think he was trying to throw that to Rob Gronkowski. He's not going to tell us that, especially after the gaffe at the end of the first half last week against the Dolphins. And number two, the thing he's more scared about than anything is he's got to deal with this coaching staff tomorrow. And if they hear that he was trying to throw that to Gronk, they're gonna roast him. So, but maybe he was tied up. Either way, it's very rare where we see Brady go back in the pocket and even get in that position. And I think that's what's just funny about the Patriots. There's a lot of things the last 2 weeks where we've never seen them in this position or do these type of things and messing up situational football. Clearly, we're not the better team on the field yesterday and still had a chance to win and just didn't come through.
And when I say Russell Wilson moment, because you know how I feel about Russell Wilson, I'm talking about that last Monday night thing where it was just all twisted up and he threw it up for grabs.
At the end of the
Jameis Winston does it more often. Wilson doesn't do it all that often. Brady rarely does it. But now that it's happening in December, when we're used to seeing the Patriots find their groove, when we're used to seeing the Patriots separate from situational football to not making a bunch of stupid decisions like committing 14 penalties for 107 yards. That's not what the Patriots do. What do you think fundamentally is wrong with the team?
Well, I think they're a different team than years past more than anything. I mean, first of all, I've never seen them commit penalties the way they did yesterday. I think that's the first thing that jumped out to me. They're not able to dissect you in the pass game when they spread the field out like they have been able to in years past. They want to run the ball. They want to run Sony Michel. They want to pull guards. They want to run play-action pass off of that. And they've ran into a team yesterday with the Pittsburgh Steelers who are big and physical, bigger and more physical than the Patriots are up front on both sides of the football. And, yeah, I think between that, between Brady, he is 41 and he's no longer, one of the best quarterbacks in football. He's still really good and you can win a Super Bowl, but I think we're all seeing some chinks in the armor here this year. I think all of those things are kind of leading to what we're seeing right now. And I don't remember the AFC ever being so up for grabs ever here in recent history.
Patriots are now 3-5 on the road. That obviously ends their road schedule for the year. It's the first time they've had a losing record away from home since 2009, and that doesn't bode well for the postseason because if they don't finish higher than the 3 seed where they currently sit, they're going to have to go on the road for at least the divisional round, and barring upsets for the AFC Championship game, if they even get that far. The last time they were not higher than 3, they got destroyed at home in the wild card round by the Baltimore Ravens. So it's been every year since 2010, they've been the 2 seed or the 1 seed. That could be coming to an end. And right now it's out of their hands. They need help in order to get a bye. And it's amazing that we're saying that.
It is amazing. I mean, the fact that, I just don't think we ever would have thought that they would lose 2 in a row in December. It's very rare. The defense doing things yesterday that I think whether it was big pass interference calls, whether it was letting somebody like Jalen Samuels bounce outside in some big moments for some runs. You never see that. The Patriots are the kings of what they call setting the edge. They make their outside linebacker defensive end funnel the run back inside. I mean, that will get you cut up in New England if you don't do that on a regular basis, and they let that happen again last night. Yeah, they're another team that's in a little bit of a funk right now as a whole, and the Steelers, I'm still a believer in the Steelers, Mike. I mean,
well, look how wide open the conference is.
I know.
If they play like they played yesterday, they could beat anyone in the conference.
I still look at them as one of the best teams in the AFC. We don't even know if they're going to get in the playoffs yet, but I do know that, just offensively and defensively, they're great on both sides of the ball. But it's all about whether they can just limit those moments where they screw up the game, where they're winning the game and they're driving and Big Ben throws a dumb interception down the middle of the field, to the Duron Harmon, or missing a field goal, which they're doing the best at than anybody in football, with Boswell leading the league in missed kicks this year. So that's where the Steelers are frustrating, but I truly do believe that they're one of the most talented teams in the NFL.
I mean, let's think about this for a second. Between the Steelers, the Ravens, the Titans, and the Colts, 4 quality teams. 2 of them aren't getting in.
Yeah.
2 of them aren't getting in.
Right.
And between the Steelers and the Ravens, one definitely is getting in, but the one that doesn't win the division is not potentially getting in. And it could come down to Titans-Colts Week 17 to determine the 6th seed. There's going to be a lot of tentacles and interconnections in Week 17. And who knows how this is all going to play out for the last few spots. But in a year like this, where it feels wide open, you punch that ticket to the 6th seed or the 5 seed in Week 17.
You could go to the Super Bowl.
You could go to the Super Bowl and you could win it. We've seen it before. We may see it again.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.